It was the World Cup final. India had beaten Pakistan in Mohali in one of the most watched matches in cricket history. India, after 2007, stood on the cusp of redemption. Mahela Jayawardene decided to make it difficult. He played one of the greatest knocks in World Cup history. 270 plus from Sri Lanka, and then Virendra Sehwag and Sachin Tendulkar dismissed. What an incredible encounter it was. Step in Gautam Gambhir, step in Mahendra Singh Dhoni, and then that final six, which India has watched a couple of million times, meant it was a night to remember. This time the stakes aren't that high. India 6 out of 6, Sri Lanka not a team that is having a good time. But nonetheless, people will think back to that night in 2011. Can India make it 7 out of 7? Can Sri Lanka stage a comeback? Can Virat make it 49? Can Rohit in front of his home crowd make history? Plenty to play for. Here's our preview on Rev Sports. Hello and welcome to India versus Sri Lanka, the Wankhede, to our studio discussion. Of course, joining us from the stadium will be our team of 4 today. Abhijit Deshmukh, Ishan Shahane, and of course our 2 usual people, Shubham Chakraborty and Devashish Sen. In the studio for a start, because we have a rotation here as well. Of course, my friend G. Radharaman and Shisha Ghoshal kicking off. Rather first ball to the 2 of them, and then Akshay will join us soon after the first 30-odd minutes as we get into the toss. Rather first thoughts. Of course, 2011 is there. Everyone will talk about last time India-Sri Lanka at the Wankhede. Very different circumstances, still a big game.
Absolutely a big one for India because it will want to make 7 on 7. It goes in as favorite, and I think that will add to some pressure. You can only hope that Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma, Jasprit Bumrah, all of them seasoned professionals, don't take on the pressure and make it 7 on 7. Sri Lanka can be a dangerous floater. It's not played up to scratch so far, but tonight could be the night that Sri Lanka comes to the party and spoils it for India. India's got to play smart cricket as always and make it 7 on 7.
Tisha, first comments?
I think India, yes, as Raja said, I completely agree with him that, India come in as favorites and all India got to do is just keep the momentum going. Rohit, I think a bit of psychological advantage that Rohit and Bumrah play for Mumbai Indians, obviously their home ground. Even I have home ground. So overall, I think
And Surya's
home ground. So overall, I think it's completely towards India.
Okay. So what do our stadium guys think? I mean, they've been there for the last few days. Fans there with Virat Kohli masks. As you can see on your screen, the birthday build-up has also started. But let's go to Shubham, Devashish, Ishan, and Abhijit from the Wankhede, how they look at this particular match. We will keep going back to them every 5-7 minutes. So keep watching this broadcast from all across the country. Here's Shubham and team at the Wankhede.
Of the 2011 World Cup final at the Wankhede Stadium. We are standing just a few seconds outside the Wankhede Stadium in the Marine Drive, and the big question today which everyone is asking is, can Virat Kohli equal Sachin Tendulkar's 49th ODI centuries record at his home ground? I'll ask Devashish about it. Devashish, we saw the statue unveiling yesterday, and it can't get this opportunity for Virat Kohli to score that 49th century at Sachin Tendulkar's home ground. Is it happening?
Yes, the kind of form he is in, obviously, we can hope that Virat goes on to score his second 100 in the World Cup, because he has already scored almost 350 runs at a strike rate of almost 88. So he is in form. So it's a matter that converting those means, obviously he was dismissed for 95. Right. He has already missed 100. So hopefully he goes on to score that 3-figure mark.
3-figure mark. Quick one. Abhijit, Ishan, 49th coming?
Yes, it is coming, because the last 2 matches played at the Wankhede, the team batting first has scored almost 400. And I think if India wins the toss or whatever, if India gets bat to first, I think 400 will be in the cards. And for sure, Kohli get the 49, maybe Rohit and Gill as well.
So he's asking about 3 centuries. Ishan, Virat Kohli, 49 coming?
It's coming, and I'm so excited to be seeing this match. I think Virat Kohli is going to get a brilliant 100. And there's only one thing though. He should watch out for Madhu Shankar. He can be the only threat for Virat Kohli. But besides that, I think the Sri Lanka bowlers probably are not at par with Virat Kohli. Virat Kohli is a different league, different caliber. He's going to take the game away.
Everyone is hopeful of a Virat Kohli 49th century. Let's see whether the King Kohli gets it or not. We'll be back with many updates, with many reactions if Kohli does so. But for now, over back to the studio.
There you go. I mean, everybody's talking about Virat Kohli's 49. Does it 100 sort of? It's like this, take your bottle of Limca, open it, have it. It's not that easy. I mean, people are talking about hundreds in a manner. And of course, because we've done that, right? 49 hundreds.
Terrific performance so far. But I'll take everyone back to what we did with Sachin Tendulkar. We kept talking about his 100 for the longest time.
1 year.
And even though he would keep telling us in press conferences that he doesn't face pressure, we all know how much pressure is built on it. I don't know why you're doing this to Virat Kohli. Fans expect his 49. Let him enjoy his game. He's now got to a senior statesman position in the side. I won't say twilight of his career. As he blossoms into a better cricketer, better person, I'm sure he's going to enjoy his cricket. And one day soon, that 49 will come. All of us are hoping it'll be.
Very nicely said. I mean, and just my story on that before I go to Trisha. Actually, that night Sachin got his 100th 100, and we were together, in room 642 at the Sonargaon in Dhaka. So it was a plan that the moment Sachin gets his 100 or 1 hour after that, we'll get on and sort of record together. And I go there, so he's standing there, and I said, "So the monkey's off your back." And he looks at me, gives me a cold glance, and says, "Who created this monkey?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" He said, 200 SMSs every day. So I go to a hotel reception, sir, 100, 100. I go room service, sir, 100, 100. You every day SMS, it will happen. Who created this? 6,000 SMSs a month or something like that. Now you guys are real, 72,000 a year. You mean to say this is real? Who created this? I'll never forget that. So that's exactly what Raja mentioned. Tisha, all said and done, that's the fans' fancy.
Absolutely. I think you want that 49, 100 because, well, I think also because that 95 kind of in your head already took you to that 49. Yeah. So that's why you are like, he should get the 49. But I would say with Sri Lanka, you never know. Maybe they only won't reach 100. So for Virat to reach 100,
No, Sri Lanka's not that bad, anyway. I mean, a lot of people have told me, okay, so today's the 49th, so Kolkata on his birthday is he getting to 50?
My God.
It's 100 for God's sake. It's not India versus Bhatsishango playing, which is a second division club team in Kolkata. It's
Also, Virat is not the only batter. You have quality batters at the top.
Sachin told me many years ago, he just got 5 of his 100. And he told me that every time I go into bat, the scoreboard shows 0.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to make those 100 runs, and it is not easy. The opposition is not going to give it to you on a platter. We saw it in the last game. Virat had the opportunity to get to 100 with a 6, then he was far. So it's going to happen. To me, 49 is not so important. If he gets the 50th and sits on top of the pile, that will be huge.
For me, frankly, any of these hundreds don't matter as long as he takes India with that 95, 45, 35 to World Cup win. That will be
Even a 5.
Even a 5. That will be his best birthday gift to this country and to his legion of fans. All of us have mentioned Sachin. Yesterday, Sachin Tendulkar's statue was unveiled at the Wankhede. It meant a lot to him and the family. Ajit was there, Anjali was there, Sara was there. Before we toss to that, Raja mentioned about the 100. Before we toss to that, here's a quick story. So one time, both of us were doing this program together. So one guy, he opened it up for questions. So he said, yes. So this guy says, sir, when you got your first 100, what were you thinking? Sachin looks at me, he looks at the guy, and I'm like, go for it. He said, I was thinking there are 99 more to go. He didn't get it. So he looks at Sachin and he says, sir, one more question. And I'm like, yes. Sachin is also sort of, okay. He said, and when you were on your 9900, what were you thinking?
One more.
So he said, one more.
But my own Sachin Tendulkar 100 story, and I'm sure you will be very interested in knowing this, is like I said, when he got his 500, I asked him what is the feeling uppermost in his mind, whether he felt happy or satisfied. For 3 minutes, Dada, he kept quiet. You could hear the sound of bat striking ball. You could hear people appealing in the distance. This was in Hyderabad. And then after 3 minutes, he said, I'm happy. I said, Sachin, you've taken 3 minutes to give me 3 words. Can I extend the duration of the interview? He said, no, I was preparing the answer to your next question. And then he said, you're going to ask me the difference between happiness and satisfaction. He explained what it was. And then he said, satisfaction like the handbrake of the car. You pull it up, you engage the car in gear, it doesn't go anywhere. And 9700s, after it got there, Indian Express had a headline, I am happy, not satisfied, Sachin. That is what made the man. He taught us that while you can be happy at your every milestone of yours, don't be satisfied because you're pulling the hand.
Yeah, I mean, that's the family. I mean, yesterday we mentioned Ajit and Sachin, and it's happened in front of me. The night of retirement at 7 p.m., he had invited us, a few of his close friends, me, Ajit, 2, 3 of them, Atul Ranade and others. And first thing, he's retired. So Ajit meets him, and we are all giving him a hug, and he's giving us presents and all. He said, no, but when you back the next time, you can't play that shot. So for a couple of minutes, we are looking at Ajit. Sachin also is looking at it. I've retired. So Ajit also realized, so this is no longer relevant. I mean, so that's the kind of family they are. And it would mean a lot to them with that statue. Shopdings put this video together for us. Take a look. Sachin Tendulkar on his home ground is forever special. If you think back, 2013 November, just about 10 years back, and it seems yesterday, all of India wanted Sachin Tendulkar to continue and get that 100 perhaps in his last test match. His mom was in attendance. Go back another couple of years, 2011, the whole World Cup was about him. Sachin Tendulkar on home ground, winning the World Cup, calling Indian fans to the dressing room, being carried by Virat Kohli and the rest of the team on their shoulders. It was perhaps one of the greatest moments in the history of Indian cricket. 22 years, and he was cricket's greatest devotee. The pitch was his temple. Wankhede was the place where he found his mojo. It is only natural that the Mumbai Cricket Association decided to honor him. Fantastic gesture it was. And on the occasion of yet another World Cup game between India and Sri Lanka, the very same teams that fought in that 2011 World Cup final. And if you see these visuals, you will know that how much Sachin is loved. You will understand that he still is Indian cricket's greatest showstopper. And when Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli enter the ground today, they will see this particular statue. Virat Kohli will think back to 2013, to the point when he carried Sachin on his shoulders. Maybe, just maybe, 20 days later, some of his teammates will carry him on their shoulders. That's how the baton passes. That's how we celebrate sport. Yesterday, all of India watched these visuals, and he has been feted the world over. Think about Sydney. He's their favorite son. Think about the Caribbean. All of them stood up when he walked out. Madame Tussauds has Sachin immortalized. But this statue in Mumbai will mean a lot to him, to his family, because this is where Sachin became Sachin. And those chants, Sachin, Sachin, will forever reverberate. Indian cricket presented its favorite son with a statue that he will be proud of. And we at Rev Sports continue to celebrate and regard Sachin Tendulkar as cricket's greatest devotee. See these visuals and you will feel nice about the sport we all love. There you go. Sachin Tendulkar, always an Indian emotion, a global emotion. Let's take quick stories. Everybody has a Sachin Tendulkar story. Raja has many shows, so does Trisha. You go first, Raja. Your Sachin Tendulkar story.
Well, this is the greatest story. I just narrated this one about satisfaction, about his handbrake. This is about the man, not about his batting. There was a time where I criticized him for not selecting a particular player. a huge headline in the newspaper I was working for. And about 8 months later, I met him and I said, should I apologize to you for having written that piece? He said, you wrote something that you believed in very strongly. I have nothing against him. We've been, I won't say the greatest of friends. We've been very good friends. He does return my call when I call him. He's an amazing human being and always nice to know him. And I think he's been the greatest ambassador India can have. There's one story that I've read about him. I don't know how true it is, that he went bargaining in Germany. He can't bargain in India. That he went bargaining on a street store in Germany. He wanted to be that ordinary human being who did extraordinary things. Pastor?
I think growing up, I have always worshipped him. For me, he was the god. He is the god. And in fact, we were yesterday, even when we were giving the caption, I said, "God is there," you know. So I remember this is not directly related to Sachin, but the first time I went to Wankhede for work, I entered the stadium and I was the graphics operator, so we have to kind of put the wires and all. So when I entered, when I went near the pitch, my first reaction was I waited for some time, and then I was like, "This is the pitch that man touched, that man kissed, that man batted on." For me, Wankhede, standing there itself, I was getting goosebumps. And the best experience, of course, whenever I've got the chance of being in the, in the interviews, and all, you have told him that I'm a fan. But the way he speaks, and I think my most bestest moment was when I actually got to tell him that I would touch his photograph and go before the exam. And humility of the man.
That's anything.
My photograph was studying.
That was the best time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It shows the humility of the man.
So Sachin looked at Tisha and said, Ticket, I would understand, but exam, my phone. So that's Sachin will look up for you. Anyway, beautiful stories. My own, because Ajit was involved, I mean, a quick Ajit Sachin story. So Ajit goes to Pakistan when Sachin actually got hit. Ajit was sitting there. So I told him, your brother got hit, 15, 16-year-old. What were you thinking? So he said, at that point in time, you could actually go into the dressing room at tea and see if things were okay or not. So I said, yeah, I'm very worried because, your brother had blood all over. He said, no, all I was thinking is, Sachin should not go out. He had to bat. And I'm like, Ajit, let's not go to that.
What a bloody nose.
Come on. He said, no. And when I saw him, he just said, it's okay. I was like, no, means he will go out in that. I was happy. So that's the kind of family these fellows are. What is Shubhan, Devashish, Ishan, and Abhijit up to? We put out a video of Abhijit dancing. That's not what he's been sent for. I hope he's doing some cricket work as well. Let's take a look at what they are.
Has been on fire this tournament. He has already scored a big one and has looked in great touch. Abhijit did an interesting piece today. Abhijit, of course, Rohit Sharma is playing in a different manner. He's looking like a different batsman altogether. Rohit Sharma 2.0 at his home ground. He doesn't have a great record here, but can he change that? Can he get a big one or take India to another victory?
Of course, I mean, look, the way he's in form and when you're playing at these home conditions, you don't get often that chance. Imagine all the cricketers that have played for India, everyone's dream has been, of course, to, once at least lead the side. And then when you're playing at the World Cup, no other Indian cricketer or captain has led their team at the home soil. In 1987, Kapil Dev, there was no Indian match at his hometown Chandigarh. In 1996, Mohammad Azharuddin, no Indian match was played at Hyderabad. Even in 2011, MS Dhoni belongs to Ranji Jharkhand, no match was played. And imagine out of all the thousands of players that had played for India, it's Rohit Sharma who has got this golden opportunity to lead his side on his home soil, home ground, Mumbai's Wankhede Stadium. I think it's going to be a historic one. I hope all guns firing from Rohit Sharma.
Devashish, a lot of Sri Lankan bowlers are injured. Rohit Sharma 2.0. It is his best opportunity to get a big one at his home ground where he has often struggled in ODI format.
Yeah, and especially the manner in which he has batted in the power play. Means obviously he has been scoring at a brisk pace, and that has paved the way for India posting big totals. Means obviously he and Shubman Gill has looked good at the top, and then followed by Virat Kohli. But talking about Rohit, almost 400 runs in 6 matches. And he's been in phenomenal form,
Right.
and the manner in which he has scored those runs, the strike rate means obviously more than 100 strike rate, and that is heartening to see, and that has set the tone for the Indian batting.
Absolutely. Rohit Sharma 2.0. Ishan, a quick comment. Rohit Sharma at his home ground, what are you expecting?
Rohit Sharma at his home ground is an absolute menace, and I agree with both of them. I think having his crowd back him as well will make a big difference. A lot of people don't understand the value of having your own crowd supporting you when you're batting or bowling. And Rohit Sharma, with the form he's in, with his crowd, I think he's going to come out there and play a lot of shots, and he's going to really take the game away. I'm very excited to see him perform. I think in the power play, he's going to especially go after the bowlers. That's where he's been performing the most, taking it on really early on. So I'm very excited to see how it goes. But I think he's going to have a great game.
He's going to have a great game. We are all hopeful that Hitman gets a big one in front of his home crowd. It's going to be a special occasion for Rohit. It was his 100th match as a captain last time around. It's his 101. Whether he gets 101 runs on his tally, that remains to be seen. But back to studio for now.
Very good chat on Rohit Sharma there. So Rohit Sharma's press conference, if any of you heard him, some important points. Number one, he actually said if one match goes bad, I'm aware that all of this I'm a good captain thing will go on with mature words. That's how India is.
He's right. But I think we sometimes criticals also don't understand that our job is to appreciate and criticize. Now, criticism is both form, both appreciation and criticism. If you've done a bad job, you will get criticized. Nobody is attacking you personally. Nobody is making you putting you on a pedestal because you've done a great job. He's led the team brilliantly.
Exactly.
In this World Cup, he's been outstanding. It's almost like he was born to lead the Indian team in this World Cup. He's done a fantastic job. But yes, if he slips, if he doesn't make the right bowling changes, people will criticize him. But he is right. He's right because we swing from one extreme to the other.
My point is because we are generalizing here. I mean, on social media, the sanity is missing. For example, if you say anything on Rohit, some legion of so-called Viratians will come and attack you. And if you say something in favor of Virat, a legion of Rohitians will come and attack you. So there is no sanity there. And that's the point that he was perhaps now. If he captains badly in one game, I mean, we will say, yes, it was one aberration. But all of a sudden, you will say on social media, oh, you know what X would have done. That's the toxicity of social media that comes to
undoubtedly. It's actually unsocial media.
Yeah.
In many forms, it is unsocial media because look at this cricket team. It is bonding beautifully. I think fans need to bond just as good.
That's the point. I mean, I was reading about the other day about Pakistan and criticism. Come on, I mean, there's a Mohammad Siraj and a Mohammad Shami in that Indian team. There's a Shubman Gill in that Indian team. Look at the diversity in that Indian team and celebrate that. The festive season, that's what we are here for. And I'm sure Rohit Sharma would want to sort of stress that point. But Tisha, as a captain, as a leader, as a batter, as an opening batter, still.
Absolutely. And I will pick up that word more than a captain. He has been a leader. He has led in all the fronts. I mean, yes, decisions, the batting, the way, the intent. Like he has set up the entire team. He has shown that attitude that this is the way Indian team will conduct themselves. This is the way we are gonna play our cricket. This is how we have come out. And from the beginning, it's a statement to the opposition, whether you're Australia or you're Afghanistan, we are here to take control of the game. And our leader is doing it with the bowling changes, with the kind of bowling changes. See, at no point will you see Rohit in this World Cup. Let this team go up. If there are no wickets in the party, he's very quick to change the bowling. And batting, he has been phenomenal. He has come out from ball one. He has we have seen even Shubman Gill has followed his footsteps and coming out, trying to change something, disturb the length of the bowlers. So basically, in short, they are also playing with the the minds of the opposition, which is fantastic.
Yeah, and you can see that. You can see that in the 6 out of 6, and we're talking about 7 out of 7. Can India do it? And he's talking about every game. He's saying, forget about the 7 out of 7. We are going match by match by match. But there was another guy. I mean, we're talking leaders who was a leader of fairly strict sort of steep proportion. Rohit's leader in terms of being Rohit's coach as part of Mumbai Indians, who got 100 against India, almost taking that game away. Mahendra Singh Dhoni and Gautam Gambhir had other ideas, but a fantastic World Cup final 100. He spoke to us about that innings at the Wankhede in the 2011 final. Mahela Jayawardene, ahead of the
it was an amazing World Cup final, and to play at India, I still remember walking into that stadium, the crowd, the atmosphere, everything was amazing, and especially when I remember when the Indian boys came out for the warm up, the chanting of Sachin, 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 and it just like it kept on going. I can't remember when it stopped, probably when he got out in that second innings. Yeah, it was a amazing finals. I think I thoroughly enjoyed, obviously, my effort on that day. Tough conditions. We managed to put a decent score on the board, and then we thought we were in control for most part of that finals, up until they started putting up few partnerships, and we realized there was dew started coming in, which there was no dew the previous few nights when we practiced, and our spinners couldn't get anything going, and Indian batting lineup was quite strong. I think the only way we could have controlled them was picking up regular wickets, which we couldn't. So deservingly on that night, India won the finals, and yeah, I still, I think, have the record of scoring 100 in a losing final. I think I'm the only one who's done that. So losing course in a World Cup final. So yeah, I mean, good memories. Bad result, I guess, at the end.
Interesting, right? I mean, good sense of humor. I'm the only person to get 100 in a World Cup final is losing cause. I'll only have that record. Mahela was an absolute gentleman. Asked him for this interview, had a long conversation. And the way he decoded Rohit Sharma was genuinely special. I keep talking about this to the team, that sport is not simply about watching cricket matches and celebrating cricketing records. It's also about food, about hospitality, about tourism, about exploring a particular city, because that's what sport and tourism is all about, and it brings you together, about celebrating cultures. Here's our team at the Mumbai Marine Drive. I think one of the iconic locations, not simply in India, but around the world, when you see that photograph of the Marine Drive. They were exploring yesterday night and today morning. Take a look.
If you walk 30 seconds from the Wankhede Stadium, you will be here at the iconic Marine Drive of Mumbai. I am with Debashish Sen, Abhijit Deshmukh, Ishan Sahane. So we are a full team here at the Amchi Mumbai, as Abhijit has just quipped, and we are gearing up for the match between India and Sri Lanka. This was the same place where thousands of fans packed the streets when India lifted the World Cup in 2011. And yes, let's talk about the match. Debashish, any fond memories from that night?
Oh my goodness, means what a memory I had on that night in 2011 when the Indian team won that World Cup. And this entire stretch of Marine Drive, the Indian team was staying at Taj Hotel, and it took them nearly 4 hours. Trust me, it took them 4 hours to reach Taj Hotel from Wankhede Stadium. Such was the atmosphere, with all the cars and the bikes and people running here and there with their tricolor. Those were the days. It gives me goosebumps. Abhijit?
Obviously, I think one of the best day of Indian sports. I was in Pune at that time watching the match, but I think it's not only in Mumbai or Pune. Everyone in India was onto the streets enjoying, these are the moments which combine, unite our country. At that time there's no religion, there's no caste, there's no language. It's just the emotions and the celebration they have, and I think same we would expect on 19th of November as well. Ishan, your memories?
Yes, so I remember being a 11-year-old boy and being a youngster who was passionate about cricket. I think winning the World Cup, I remember being even more passionate, and I just thought to myself that I wish I could have been there one day. And now that I was actually there on the ground doing a different job, but it's the same feeling and the passion's still there. So you're right. I think just that passion when India won that cup, I think everyone was just really very excited, and the whole of Bombay was just celebrating.
Absolutely. And yes, now that we have.
Okay, so there you go. Toss time almost. So what we will do is we'll do a quick change. So Trisha with her final comments. Win toss, bat first, ball first.
Win toss, I would say bat first.
Okay, win toss, bat first is what Trisha is saying. Rohit saying no. We'll see what happens there. But before that, Sachin Tendulkar said a lot of things to us and to his legion of fans yesterday. The devotees loved it. Let's hear what Sachin says as we get Athreyo into the mix, and Trisha wants to take over her production duties. So the mix, as Sachin Tendulkar speaks to us. There you go.
Namaskar. Good evening. Honorable CM of Maharashtra, Sindhiji, Maria Pawarji, all the dignitaries on the dais, my colleagues, MCA committee members. It is indeed a special moment for me. I remember, I think it was around Feb or so, where Mr. Sheila and Mr. Kale both called me on behalf of MCA. They said we have this thought of having your statue inside the stadium. But my first visit to Wankhede Stadium was way back in 1983. I was only 10 years old. West Indies had come to India. And this was after 1983 World Cup. That excitement was there. West Indies came there. I got runs in school cricket, and then slowly that progress happened in my life. I was selected to be a ball boy in 1987 World Cup. And I was sitting right here in front of the dressing room. And a gentleman called Mr. Sunil Gavaskar invited me to the dressing room. I can never forget that. He was sitting in the corner and he said, "Yeah, Adi, the dressing room daakho." So I saw the dressing room, met few players. I was 14 then, if I'm not mistaken. For a 14-year-old to actually be invited by his hero to the dressing room was a big thing. And after that, the very next year, I played for Mumbai, Ranji Trophy. But unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to play with Sunil Gavaskar. I remember landing from New Zealand. I landed at 2:30 a.m. and the very next morning we were playing Ranji Trophy match. And I turned up and I played that match. But that wasn't because anyone had forced me to play. It was out of love, it came from within, and I cared about Mumbai cricket. So I feel an organization which has given us the platform to realize our dreams. It is only fair that we reciprocate that. Fantastic news where cricket has been now included in the Olympics. So another opportunity for us to get the gold medal.
So we've got the toss result for you from the Wankhede. Sri Lanka has won the toss and the bowling first. So India, once again, will be batting at the Wankhede like the last game when they batted first after the first 5 games for all chases. Quick comments. Let's start with Athreyo, who's taken over from Trisha. Win toss, bat first, Wankhede 300 pitch.
Well, it's not exactly. I think the team that is winning the toss would like to bat second. That's what Sri Lanka is doing. And
Because of the view?
maybe because of the view, and also because of the flat nature of the wicket, also nature of the small ground, taking those factors into account. I think that's what the plan would be, and that's what India would have liked to do as well. So it's not bad because.
Okay, So we just got an update from our back-end team that Rohit would have batted. Is it because they want to test themselves under every situation?
Possibly, because of the 6 matches, they batted first only once the previous match. So they will like to test themselves in every kind of situation, and that's what this situation presents them a chance to do that.
Okay, Raja, thoughts?
I think it's a good toss to lose. Rohit would have been in a dilemma. Even though he said that he wanted to bat first, he would have been in a dilemma. I think good that it's taken out of his hands. India's got a chance to bat better than it did in the last game. India's got a chance to show that it got the batting so that even Surya Kumar Yadav at number 6 does not need to bat. I think there's an opportunity for India to show its batting might. We have not seen that in case of batting first. So today is a great chance for India to do it.
At the same time, Wankhede expectedly should be a good batting deck. India going unchanged is the other news we are getting. This is a clear signal that they are backing these boys to go and do the job. They've got gaps between matches. They've got 2, 3, 4 days to recover. After the match in Kolkata on the 5th, they've got 6 days. So clearly, and then the semi-final and the final. So clearly, Acho, this is the final 11 that they are backing to go on and do the job.
Yeah, it's good to see that because they are backing the people they think are going to do the job for them. So it's a very good thing that the captain and the team management are showing faith in the people that they have chosen. Having said that, I would like to see Shreyas Iyer do better in this game because it's been seen that here the problem against a short ball, people will bowl that ball to ball against him, and if he cannot resist that temptation to play that shot, we'll see.
It's a very important point because once Hardik Pandya comes back, the temptation will be to drop one between Shreyas and Surya. Surya did very well the last game. So Shreyas, very, very important.
I think this is a big game for him. Another lucky opportunity for him that he continues to be in the 11. Most teams might have been tempted to rest him and bring in even Ishan Kishan, the left-hander, in the middle order. But Shreyas has got a chance. He has to pull his weight to the side. At the moment, he hasn't done it. He's probably the only one short on runs. Everybody else has got at least one good knock in the tournament, and Shreyas has got to make up for and be thankful for the opportunity that Rohit and Rahul have given him.
Okay, so there you go. Some statistics there. Shreyas Iyer batting so far in the World Cup, 6 innings, 134 at an average of 33, strike rate of 84. But that actually doesn't tell a story. I mean, even that average of 33 is acceptable. But in his case, the way he's gotten out, even in difficult situations where needed him to stay there, last game, Virat Kohli out, all of a sudden he comes and plays that shot, gets out, puts pressure. That's a problem.
See, I think his numbers are fine. If you look at it, overall career statistics, not just this World Cup, those are very, very impressive. And we all know that he's a very quality batter, no doubt about that. But the thing is that one problem has been identified, and that same problem is being probed by the opposition teams game after game, and he's succumbing to that. So that is something which he has to address. Nobody, I mean, a coach can help you, but it's a mental thing which he has to get rid of.
He's making a very important point there that Shreyas has to sort of, control his ego, not let his ego take over. Leave that ball. How does it matter? Sachin Tendulkar 241. Think of what he did to that cover drive, his favorite shot. That's something that Shreyas Iyer will have to keep in mind. But our group in the stadium, they don't have to keep anything in mind. They're sort of continuously telling us they need to go in and watch the match. So let's go to them and see what they are up to before we let them go and catch up on the action. Here's Shubhan and team in front of the mark.
From Rest Sports, I have the Rest Sports team with me. We're going to talk about Jasprit Bumrah playing at his home ground. That is for the Mumbai Indians. I think he's going to have a major impact in today's game, having already played here, already knowing the situation. What do you think?
जस्सी जैसा कोई नहीं.
जस्सी जैसा कोई नहीं, बिल्कुल.
आई थिंक जिस तरह से वो खेल रहे हैं इस पूरे वर्ल्ड कप में, एक बॉलिंग बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट फैक्टर होता है किसी भी टीम को वर्ल्ड कप जीतने के लिए. बैटिंग है, लेकिन बॉलिंग विकेट्स लेता है जिससे आप मैच जीतते हो. लेकिन जसप्रीत बुमराह ने फर्स्ट मैच से डोमिनेटिंगली अच्छा परफॉर्मेंस किया है. इंडिया के अब तक के हाईएस्ट विकेट टेकर है. आई थिंक आज यहाँ पे वो मुंबई इंडियंस के लिए खेलते भी, और आज मुझे लगता है आज काफ़ी अच्छा परफॉर्मेंस करने वाले हैं.
Perfect. And Jasprit Bumrah has always done well at Wankhede. This is where he's actually, become the superstar that he is. Do you think he's going to give a superstar performance as well today?
Yeah, obviously he has giving those breakthroughs for India. 13 wickets. He's the highest wicket taker for India so far, and together with Shami and Siraj, they form a potent threesome attack, and that has been it's too hot to handle for the opposition batters, and he has been in the man in form. He knows the conditions very well, being his second home, I would say, playing for Mumbai Indians. So I think the form he is in, I think we can hope for another great spell from Bumrah.
So, Bhayan, last question. Bumrah playing at his home crowd, with his home crowd, how do you think the home crowd can benefit him in this game?
Home crowd or away crowd, it doesn't matter for Jasprit Bumrah. He has been on absolute fire, leading the way for the Indian team with the ball, and I think it's going to be the same. He has been a menace in away ground, so imagine what he can do inside the Wankhede, the place, as you said, where he became the superstar that he is today. And it's going to be I think I am expecting a fiver from Jasprit Bumrah, especially that he knows the condition well. And if India are bowling second, then it's going to be a better advantage due to this marine drive, the ceiling that we have besides the Wankhede. So let's see, expecting a good performance again from Jasprit Bumrah, and hopefully he'll guide us to another win.
So we all are expecting a good performance, and I think a fifer is on the cards. Thank you.
Okay, so these guys saying, interestingly, that because of the marine drive and because of all of that, Jasprit Bumrah might just get assistance bowling second. Both the captains, I mean, rather Rohit wanted to bat first, but Sri Lanka has chosen to bowl. That could be the due factor. Is that a consideration? Jasprit Bumrah home soil might get advantage of the lines.
See, Bumrah is one bowler who doesn't really depend a lot on the conditions of the surface. I mean, he can extract light from the deadest of surfaces, deadest of pitches. So I agree with Shubhan. घर पे खेल रहे, बाहर खेल रहे, home crowd, non-home crowd का फर्क नहीं होता है. So Bumrah is somebody who will who is like quite on song actually. I mean, the kind of things he's doing with the ball is amazing. It's crazy. So Bumrah will be a huge factor. And how many wickets he's going to take and all that,
That's a different thing. Yeah.
But Bumrah will be a factor, and not only in this match.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, Bumrah and Shami, the way that these two are bowling and underlines, if the ball starts moving a bit, Wankhede there will be bounce. So they will test the Sri Lankans irrespective of what happens in the toss.
Undoubtedly. You were pointing out how win toss, back first, to put the opposition under pressure. That is the usual tactic for Wankhede Stadium. Quite surprising that the Sri Lankans chose to bowl first. Late in the evening, there will be a breeze and ball does swing a little bit more than it does in the daytime at the Wankhede Stadium. I'm sure Rohit Sharma knows this inside out. He's led the team to 5 IPL titles at this very ground. Of course, 1 or 2 series were played in the Middle East, but Rohit knows this ground better than anybody else. And if he says that he wanted to bat first, he's got very, very good reason.
I think Raja makes a very important point there. Once again, the playing 11s for you, the Indian team, unchanged. Rohit Sharma, Shubman Gill, Virat Kohli, Shreyas Iyer, KL Rahul, Surya Kumar Yadav, Ravindra Jadeja, Mohammad Shami, Jasprit Bumrah, Kuldeep Yadav, and Mohammad Siraj. Sri Lanka, Patham Nisanka, Dimut Karunaratne, Kusal Mendes, Sadira Samaravichanama, Charita Asalanka, Angelo Matthews, once again, I mean, last match also we saw lens amount of balance and coming in based on that injury, Dushan Hemanta. Again, I mean, coming in for Dhananjay De Silva, Mahesh Tikshana, Kasum Rajita. One wants Mahesh Tikshana to step up. He's spoken to us, we'll get to that. Kasum Rajita, Dushmanta Chamira, who can generate significant pace, and Dilshan Madhushankar, the left armer, has been in decent form. Not a bad team, Sri Lanka. They've not done justice. Mahesh Tikshana spoke to us. He's never gotten Virat Kohli out in a ODI, a 50-over contest. Wants to do that. We'll have a crack at Kohli maybe, because Sri Lanka bowling first. What did Tikshana tell us? Take a listen.
I like to get Virat out, but yes, I didn't get him out anytime. I like that figure, but yeah, I hope I can get it done. Yeah, I think because we played different teams and different areas, I think it's better for us because Gujarat doesn't play for Gujarat. That's the players like the finals and 1 or 2 games happening Even we have two Bangalore games now. One of these played there. The conditions. We played one in Delhi. We know about the conditions and the weather and the crowd and everything. What happened in Delhi? So I think played one game in Lucknow also. So know about the conditions there, the bigger boundaries, and what is the key in those grounds. So we knew and we have the experience right now. I think it's time for deliver the guys who played in all the areas. I have no secrets, but I'm always trying when I'm bowling T20s. I'm always trying to give them singles. In T20s, no one happy with a single, so I think that's why I'm doing good in T20s and in limited overs. I think my plan was to bowl just keep it simple, just bowl wicket to wicket and just give them a single, because I know in a T20 no one likes to get a single. So
And 50 overs?
In 50 overs, the role is different. You have to get wickets in the middle overs. But I learned something in 50 overs, but because there's only 4 fielders outside after the first 10 overs. So I learned that you have to change your field at some of the times. You have to do some tricks, and you have to play the mind with the batsman when you want to get wickets with the field. So that's what I learned from when I'm bowling in one days. But in different situations, when I'm bowling the power play and when if I bowl in the death, it's very different thing.
Tikshana talking about how to bowl in different formats, T20s and 50 overs. When you look at the Sri Lankan lineup, you go fast before I go to Atreo. I mean, Shamira, Madhushanka, Tikshana. It's a decent attack. It's not a bad attack.
Undoubtedly, they are good quality attack. They would have liked a spinner of Muridhanan's quality or of even Ranganath. Unfortunately, they don't have that. But they have an attack that can challenge the best of teams. They haven't done justice to their talent as much as they could have done in this World Cup, but they are a good side. I think they're work in progress. Over the last few years, they've had a number of players go away from international cricket. They're rebuilding the side, and they've come to a good spot. Unfortunately, they haven't won too many matches with this kind of attack that they've got. It's nice all-round attack they have. They could have done a lot better.
It's an underachieving attack. That's why we somewhat underrated. I mean, we do not talk about them so highly because they have underachieved and they came to the World Cup without some of their front lineup. I mean, it was a big attack when they started the World Cup campaign. But as the matches have gone on, I think they have started getting better, especially the fast bowlers. So they will test the Indians. I mean, they are quality bowlers, and although the pitch may not assist them a lot, but they will test not just India, anybody.
That's a good point. I mean, all of us agree. All of us agree that the Sri Lankan attack has enough meat in it to test the Indian batters, especially at the top, Rohit Sharma, Shubman Gill. We've got to see if there is movement, if there's a bit of bounce, because that's where the Sri Lankans, especially the left arm, gets the ball to come in, Dilshan Madhushanka, and can get the ball to hold its line as well. So decent attack, we'll see what happens. But the Sri Lankans are actually wearing black armbands today, and we are actually how do I put it? It's very important that this gesture is being done, because Percy Abhaysekara, one of the greatest fans who enriched this sport of ours that we love from 1979, 44 years of fandom, born 1936, passed away just a couple of days back. The emblem, symbol of Sri Lankan cricket. Everybody's spoken about him in honor of Percy Abhaysekara. They're wearing the black armbands. Percy Abhaysekara spoke to us, perhaps. It was quite fortuitous that our team went and visited him in Sri Lanka, in his house, perhaps the last media crew to do that, just about a month back, and spent 3-4 hours with Uncle Percy. Here's what he had to say. Take a look.
Oh my gosh, I like to see Rohit Sharma. He's one of my best friends. Before they start batting, Rohit calls me from one end to the other. Percy, sing that song. I want to see you dancing. I'm not dancing, but I sing a song. Then he also claps and the whole Indian team claps. We dance and all the Indians cheer. Rohit Sharma deserved it, and for him to win, it's not Rohit Sharma in the whole history of Indian cricket, which they brought up to this standard after so many years. So I'm very happy.
Uncle Percy there for you. I mean, the sport has been enriched by people like Uncle Percy. And there, by the way, no Viratians, no Rohitians there, no toxicity there. He's celebrating sport in exactly the manner that it should be done, whether it's Indian, whether it's Sri Lankan, whether it's Ranatunga, whether it's Jayavardhane, whether it's Sangakkara, or even the current team, Kusal Mendis or Kumar. That's why Uncle Percy will forever remain immortal in the minds of every cricket fan of any kind of seriousness or any nationality. Final conversation with my studio guests. What will India want to do? What is any box that you think India needs to pick? You go first.
I think India will want to look at this game as the start of a World Cup. Leave the 6 matches behind and think that there are only 5 games going into the final. Think that there are only 5 games that you want to win all 5. Not worry too much about what has happened in the past and start treating this as the beginning of a new World Cup campaign. I'm sure then the pressure of winning 11 on 11 or even 9 on 9 in the league stage is off the minds of Rohit Sharma and his team. I think they will want to start a new campaign.
Very nice point. And you've already made this point about you want to watch Shreya Iyer's. Anything else that you were looking for?
There was something else which I was looking for, which was Ravichandran Ashwin. But for some reason, the Indian team has decided not to use him for the time being. So I'm a little surprised by that call. But anyway, the team has decided. I mean, they know better. They know what exactly they need and who are the people required to get the job done. So that's something I would have liked to see. But anyway, I mean, as Raj said, that Indian team should look at it as a beginning of campaign instead of carrying those memories of those 6 matches with them. And yes, it's a new game. Every day will be a new game. And a good team which aspires to win the World Cup has to perform regardless of what you have. I mean, who are the players you have, what you have done in the past. Forget those things. I mean, it's a World Cup you're playing, and if you aspire to win, you have to be at your best every day.
Okay. So last closing comments. I mean, just a quick digression. Last night, New Zealand spiced it up by not doing what they are used to doing. Pretty much underperforming New Zealand against South Africa, and all of a sudden there's a whiff in Calcutta. Is there an India-Pakistan semi-final? Is there an India-Pakistan semi-final? And all of us, we've heard these murmurs. Raj,
I think it's important to ask you, do you want that match?
No.
And have hundreds and thousands of people asking
No,
you?
I've said that. I mean, none of us in Kerala, after will agree, none of us want that match because then you're lost. If you get 2 tickets, people will ask for 2,000. You can never make anybody happy. I would much rather have an India semi-final on TV with our team here with loads of food and celebrate over Kali Pujo. That's absolutely what I want. That's your thoughts?
A little difficult for Pakistan to make it at the moment. I mean, yeah, I mean, let's put sentiments aside. I mean, they are a good side, we know. But what they did the damage already that has been done, it's difficult to restore, difficult to repair. So it's tough.
I think they stand an outside chance. New Zealand is going through a low. They've lost 3 matches in a row.
Plus injury.
Plus Matt Henry having to go out. New players coming in. There is a churning in the New Zealand side. That gives Pakistan just that outside chance of repeating what it did in 1992. They will want it, but whether it happens or not, time is going to tell. They've got 2 big games, and while they might win one, they still have to win a second one.
And others have to lose.
Others have to lose. So Pakistan has got an outside chance. They will love the opportunity. Their fans will love the opportunity. But I don't see India, Pakistan in Calcutta.
Good man. Good man. No India, Pakistan, and Calcutta. That's why he's a good man. I mean, anyway, that's made a very good point about Reams. We are perhaps sort of going a little too far ahead of ourselves. But he mentioned the word churning, and Raja sort of echoed it. Our stomachs were churning, and we have this beautiful tie-up thanks to Swiggy Dine Out, where we are able to go to these restaurants and sort of have some great food, as our team did so in Bombay as well. So 5 to 7 minutes to go. Why don't you have a quick bite while you watch what we ate at the old Delhi, thanks to Swiggy Dine Out? That's where we leave you today. India v Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka won the toss, bowling first. India unchanged. Here's Swiggy Dine Out with some great food for you. Enjoy, and we will come back once again during the mid show. Thank you very much, Rajaraman. Thank you, Akshay. Thank you, Trisha. And to the entire team at Red Sports for this particular show. We'll be back soon. Enjoy the food.
Debashi Sen waiting for India to make it 7-7. Let's see what our team Ref Sports is doing in Kolkata at the Old Delhi restaurant. Thanks to Swiggy Dine Out.
Hello and welcome. And this time the cricket caravan moves to Mumbai, the home of cricket. And what have we done? You know, if they move to the home of cricket, it has to be something extraordinary. Look at this here at the Old Delhi. It's a beautiful restaurant with great ambience and decor. With me, my two colleagues who are part of these lunches and our back-end team who are all on the shoot, Rajaraman, Shormishta, and I'll read you the fare. It's the Afshani soya tikka, the shark sukat, the spaghetti arrabbiata chicken, the grilled veggie with Hollander sauce, New Zealand lamb chops, the dal bukhara which I will try, the chili garlic naan, the veg thali, the mutton thali, the Old Delhi style butter chicken, the mutton galoti kebab and the firni, the blue frozen mountain and the chili grapes as far as the drinks are concerned. Look boss, in Calcutta there are no tickets for India-South Africa. All you need to do is come to the Old Delhi, watch the game in the giant screen and enjoy this beautiful place. The food